What's up everybody, it's Zamora and welcome to my new video. So this video idea was actually provided to me by someone who resides very far away, but despite all that has become a very important person for me, a really good friend, given that he granted his support and just listened to me in a moment when I just needed it. And honestly, I can say that I have been uplifted quite enough, and here I am. So my topic is going to be what makes me happy, or just happy things in general. So honestly, I read this only a couple of hours ago, so I really haven't sat down and meditated on it. But what comes to mind instantly is I love driving. Like, I've always had a thing for cars. I used to play lots of car games and all that. And if I had extra money to spare, I would take classes in which you learn defensive maneuvers and how to drive high performance vehicles. That is something that in the future I am hoping I get to do, and I keep it really close to me and really up there at the top of my agenda. But as of right now, it's not something vital in my life, so that's why I'm not actively pursuing it. But every time I sit down on that driver's side of my car and I just have control of that piece of machinery, I'm just extremely happy. Another thing that makes me happy is eating well, but on top of that, eating what I please. So like right now, my craving is a chicken pesto pizza, and I am bummed out because my pizzeria of preference simply does not carry pesto, and therefore they won't be able to make it. And that's a shame because they use some fine ingredients. So I will have to depend on my second alternative, given that my first alternative is not that healthy when it comes to the ingredients. And to me, I'm starting to pay much more close attention to that. And yeah, so although the deal is really good on a certain day of the week, I just rather would not mess with it. Alright, another thing that makes me happy is being in good company. Like today I'm off, and it's one of those days in which I can very easily lose my mind because everybody is either at work or vacationing, or if this were another time of the year, they would be in school and stuff. And that can be pretty depressing and lonely because it's like, wow, I just don't fit in anybody's life. And then, of course, when it comes to my boyfriend, ideally we would be together all the time or a lot of the time. But our circumstances differ a little, and priorities are different. But anyway, I would rather not talk about that because it's not a big deal. But yeah, ideally, I'm just that type of girlfriend who I just like to be with my man, period. And I like for my man to like to be with me. So, of course, I'm going to feel bummed out and down the times that stuff doesn't go my way in that department. And, it makes me sad very easily because I'm like, damn, this feels like hard work. But at any rate, hopefully, this will get better because there are times in which stuff just gets better inexplicably, and it's cool and I'm cool and we're cool. I just want to get to that stage where we're constantly cool. But anyway, something that I am trying to just be better at is just being happy with myself. There was a time in my life in which I wasn't bothered by being alone. I wasn't bothered by being lonely. Why is it that when I was a child I was okay, but now that I'm older, suddenly it's becoming a big deal? Why am I so subjective? Why am I being so easily influenced by what happens around me or in other people's lives that I look at and I'm like, hey, it would be nice if I had some of that. I'm trying to just not compare myself a lot, because there was a time in which I would just do a lot of critical thinking, and that mess is just not healthy. This friend who inspired this topic really brought up to my attention and awareness that I have a major overthinking problem, and I give myself the problems that weren't there in the first place. And you would think that's common sense that you would know that, but as an individual who experiences anxiety and has never really had a way of really tackling it or coping with it, I've only had myself to rely on. It helps when you have a third person telling you. And that's why I'm really grateful for this person having told me the stuff that he has told me, because last night I just wasn't into it. Like, I wasn't thinking about making a video, I wasn't thinking about eating, I wasn't thinking about driving, or pretty much I wouldn't even have left bed. I was supposed to have been sleeping by the time that this person and I were conversing, but I just couldn't. And then had it not been for the good stuff that he said to me, I would probably still be laying down, and just pondering on the day. So what makes me happy is just knowing that someone is there really unconditionally supporting me, because whether I like it or not, I could be an independent person, but I enjoy to be helped. The idea of having someone just there with me to face, this humongous world is just nice. It's nice to know that someone out there cares about you. At any rate, another thing that makes me happy is when I'm in an artistic mood and I can get stuff like posters done or just decorate my room, and even writing. Like I said, I don't journal anymore, but the times that I do, and I have a good composition that's not so negative or pessimistic, I feel really accomplished, because I'm like, hey, I still have the power of writing something that's beautiful despite my life seeming bleak at the moment. Another thing that makes me super happy is when I watch videos online about folks who have had their difficulties, but yet they prosper. And it's really inspiring. I just love to watch them and if anything, implement their own tips into my life, and I have experienced the differences. These people are genuine, so it's nice that they decide to put their experiences out there for the public to come across. And working with music, that has to be up there on my top things that just make me happy. I have finally been able to tweak this one song that, of course, everything I do by ear, but I thought this one song, even though it's simple, I thought I would just never get it on my own, but I'm pretty much done with it. Now I have to train myself how to play it with both hands cooperating. But the fact that I was able to just take that song apart, figure out each part, and just know what the notes are, but now I just have to train my motion. It's exciting, because I have not been known for having any kind of musical talent, and that has really made me feel down, because it's something that I really care about, but I just wasn't born a Mozart. I just wasn't born someone with either good vocals or good piano skills, and getting training is just out of my reach. So the fact that by myself I have been accomplishing that, it means a lot. And it just raises my self-esteem, and it just makes me happy, because I'm like, yay, I thought that there was no hope for me, but there is. And then another thing that I can say makes me super happy is when other people around me are also happy. Like when I hear good news, it's like, oh wow, I'm excited for you, because I'm not used to hearing updates and stuff from people a lot. So when I do hear them, it feels like a special occasion. And last but not least, when something that I like gets a continuation. Pokemon, I'm looking at you. Like, I thought that given that I lacked the interest and the involvement with video games, I thought that was it. Like, it's over. My gaming life is over. But I still care to see what direction my favorite stuff from when I was a kid is taking. Like, there's good old Pokemon, there's Dragon Ball Z, and all that. I will always care about that. And even if I don't see it as actively or know it as detailed as I used to, I like to know that they're not letting the legacy of those shows just die. And of course, thanks to my boyfriend, I'm getting back to superhero messes that I used to just be more into when I was a kid. But as an adult, I just stopped caring, and now I have pretty much been perusing a good chunk of the internet for comic stuff. I'm still not reading comics directly, but I'm seeing synopsis, and it makes sense. And little by little, I'm building up to where my interest is there. Alright guys, that's about all that comes to mind right now. I am pretty sure that I am going to make a part 2 and a part 3 and a part 4, as many parts as it needs to be, about the stuff that makes me happy. Given that this topic was presented to me like so suddenly, and I had never meditated on it, this is just what immediately struck my mind, and it's just my top things, but I am pretty sure there's more meaningful stuff out there that makes me happy, and I'm just not thinking about it right now. But at least I got this started and it's out there, and I promise that I'll be thinking about it and think more positively and not let myself feel so down so easily, no matter why or because of whom or just why. Like, I have a crap ton of problems going on right now in my personal life, but I have surpassed them all despite all the odds. So I want to keep this attitude and not allow myself to just sink, because everybody has hardships and I won't be the last one. So yeah, my goal is to stay, on top of things and not be so pessimistic and negative and all that. So even if I don't feel like being jolly because my circumstances suggest otherwise, I'll just do it, because I was doing just fine for a few months, a few days, and now suddenly I just had a collapse again. But anyways, so all right, thank you guys so much for watching and for showing me so much support, and I hope that I will forever count on you, because you are so influential and you inspire me. And okay, enough with that. See you guys later.